Lock your breath and listen. This is the warning you chose to walk past. They laid a trap for you. Not out of accident, not out of mistake, but with patience. Slow, surgical, designed like a promise that smiles before it snaps. They glued the bait to the floor and painted the walls with mirrors so you'd never see the wire until it was already around your throat. You were invited by curiosity, by habit, by the little arrogance that whispers, "I can handle it." That arrogance is the quiet they counted on. That arrogance is how they harvest people like you. You always think danger shouts. It doesn't. Danger purrs. It wears your favorite face. It smells like normal. It hugs you and memorizes the shape of your trust. They sat in rooms with calendars and maps and coffee-stained schedules and said, "We'll make the easy ones walk into their own endings." And you walked, smiling, because you believed in the math of cause and consequence. Neat, tidy, predictable. You believed the world was a straight line, but lines bend, and when they bend, they cut. They laid the trap for you because you looked predictable, because you had routines they could trace with the patience of scavengers, because you liked to be right more than you feared being wrong. They wanted to know where you'd turn when the lights went out. They wanted to know what you'd keep secret when everyone else was screaming. And here's the sick twist. You gave them the answer without even trying. Now listen carefully. This isn't about fear. It's about a currency you learned to counterfeit. Attention. They want you paying attention to the wrong things, so your real power quietly stacks itself behind your ribs. They want you rehearsing apologies, explaining past scars, shrinking the volume of who you are. And while you apologize, they tighten the noose. You think this is a call to cower. It's not. It's a call to precision. When a trap is laid, the world flips the contract. You can be bait, or you can be the one who rewrites the rules of the snare. Most people choose to be bait because being bait is easier. It's soft. It's sympathized with. But easy is edible. You are not edible. There's a paradox at the center of survival. The thing that made you human, your capacity to feel, to care, to hesitate, is the very thing that makes you dangerous when you learn to weaponize it. You weaponize it not by becoming cruel, but by becoming deliberate. You weaponize your empathy by choosing who deserves it. You weaponize your pain by turning it into a ledger of lessons rather than a tattoo of defeat. You weaponize your silence by letting it speak louder than their accusations. They think a trap works because it's physical. A rope, a pit, a plan. But the most lethal traps are psychological. They bait your loyalties. They bait your memory. They bait your compassion. They plant rumors that bloom into public verdicts. They plant doubt into your allies. They ask one simple question, dressed like curiosity. Are you sure? And when you answer, they use your answer like a blade. God, how they love to watch people explain themselves. It's their favorite show. Because when you explain, you hand them ammunition. When you defend, you validate their frame. When you give context, you volunteer your soft underbelly. So stop explaining. Let the silence accumulate like debt. When they finally cash it in, they'll discover they've been bargaining with something they never bought. You are both saint and psychopath. That's not an insult. It's your advantage. Saints crave martyrdom. Psychopaths crave control. You are neither an idol nor a monster exclusively. You are the person who sat long enough in both chairs to learn the upholstery of every lie. You can hold a hand and shove a secret under it at the same time. You can whisper mercy and plan departure. That duality makes you unpredictable. And unpredictability is a currency they never learned to counterfeit. Remember this: unpredictability is not chaos if it's intentional. Chaos is noise. Intention is anatomy. You will move like a storm that knows where to break the branches. You will be merciful when mercy breaks their certainty, and you will be ruthless when ruthlessness becomes the mechanism that protects the ones you keep. The trap expects you to flinch, so don't. Instead, re-architect your flinch. Make the flinch look like a strategy. Make the trap look like your training ground. They think blood is the cost of failure. Maybe sometimes it is, but not always. Blood is also the ledger by which you measure what you're willing to lose so you can keep everything else. Bloodstains are not only evidence of violence, they are signatures of commitment. You do not spill it because you crave violence. You spill it because sometimes fire is the only way to temper steel. And you learn, in those moments, that pain doesn't erase you. It refines you. Do not imagine your demons as enemies to be exorcised. Imagine them as apprentices that, once disciplined, whisper the truth that everyone else is too polite to say. You made friends with the parts of you that would rather burn than beg. Now those parts are your scouts. They run ahead of you into the dark, mapping every snafu, every whisper, every instrument used to bait you. They're the ones who learned how to smell a trap before the wire touches leather. When they sat in fluorescent rooms, pairing timelines against alibis, they thought they were architects. They were amateurs. Architecture needs blueprints. Theirs were scribbles made by fear. When they tried to box you into a narrative, you rearranged the furniture. When they tried to nail down the version of you they could sell, you supplied a new product: ambiguity. And ambiguity is lethal when wielded deliberately. It causes cognitive dissonance. It makes them doubt their own maps, and doubting is paralyzing. They want to provoke you into making mistakes. They stage the provocations carefully. A rumor in a coffee shop, a miscaptioned photo, a whispered conversation planted like a landmine. Know this: their provocation is an invitation to become reactive, which is exactly what they need. Reactivity is their art supply, so do the opposite. Respond with the slow, sleeping patience of predators. Let them hurry, let them misstep. Let their hands tremble because they cannot predict which face of you will answer. This is where power is learned, not in the roar, but in the calculation of silence. It's learned in the gap between the question and your answer. It's learned the night you decide not to explain the bruise, not to retell the narrative, not to validate their certainty. And if they demand a confession, give them the one they cannot spend, the truth that lives inside the pause. In that pause, you are a vacuum that absorbs their accusations and leaves them with echoes. Now, you might think you're alone. You're not. There are allies, not the flamboyant ones, not the ones who flash like fireworks and burn out, but the ones who learned the same code as you. They keep their faces quiet. They know how to move through rooms without being signaled. They understand the smell of traps before the bait settles. Find them, keep them close. They aren't many because most people prefer the crowd that applauds bravado over the few that respect craft. There will be days the trap seems inevitable. That's when courage disguises itself as boredom. That's when you stop caring about the spectacle and care only about the mechanics of survival. You will show up as a patient machine. You will breath through the panic like someone breathing through winter. You will take the pieces they scatter and build a barricade. You will convert shame into architecture. Make no mistake, you will have to break yourself a little. to grow. Evolution is a surgical process. It takes cuts. But remember, those cuts become the grooves that guide your strength. They become the channels through which light learns to travel. You will emerge not unhurt, but unsilenced. And when the trap finally snaps for them, when their neat little plan unriddles, and their confident questions turn into frantic whispers, you will watch with the calm of someone who learned to be comfortable in every room. You will let them lose their minds because they deserve to witness the cost of underestimating you, not out of spite, out of principle. Let them feel the vertigo of being wrong. This is the final lesson they'll never give you in a polite room. Power is not the absence of fear. Power is the decision to move while afraid, with clarity, with direction, with cruelty when necessary, with tenderness when possible. Power is the ledger you keep in private, that no one can audit. Power is learning that the only thing worse than a trap is the arrogance of thinking you'll never be tempted. So mind your step, but don't mind it the way a victim minds a trap bed. Mind it the way a cartographer minds terrain, with maps, with notes, with patience. If the trap is baited with old friends, light, success, or mercy, examine it like a surgeon examines an organ. If it smells like normal, treat it like poison. If it promises forgiveness, check its signature. If it offers safety, open it slowly. If it asks for your apology as the price, remember, their mercy often comes wrapped in debt. They laid a trap for you because they thought you predictable. Prove them wrong not by rage, but by composition. Recompose yourself into a rhythm they can't hum. When they clap for drama, give them craft. When they await your collapse, arrive with the calm of someone who rehearsed defeat and turned it into choreography. You will not be the story they write on billboards. You will be the unknown clause in their contracts. You will be the line item they forget to account for. You will be the silence between their questions that becomes their indictment. You will be the presence that changes the equation. Walk like someone who knows the terrain. Move like someone who has rehearsed survival. Speak like someone who cannot be hurried. Smile like someone who learned that joy is a small, dangerous rebellion. And when the trap finally snaps shut on their plans, don't roar. Smile. Let the quiet do the work. Because there is a sweetness in survival that can't be described, only tasted. It's the taste of a table you built with your hands after every bite was taken from you. It's the taste of looking at the faces of the people who thought they could predict you and seeing them miscalculate for the first time. It's not cruelty. It's the truth of recalibration. They laid a trap for you. They wanted to watch your fall. Instead, you rebuilt the ground beneath your feet. You waited. You learned. You struck only when strategy called for it. And when you do move, you will move like a verdict. Precise, inevitable, and final. Now go. Carry this like an article of faith. Let your footsteps be careful, not fearful. Let your decisions be surgical, not performative. Let your silence be a language, and your actions the translation. They wanted you predictable. Give them unpredictability crafted by will. Give them mercy measured like war. Give them a quiet that breaks the world. And if they ever ask you why you didn't run, tell them you were never meant to flee. You were meant to outlast, outthink, and outlive the traps they were careless enough to set. Mind your step. Pay the price only when it's a price you choose to pay.